A heart closed. I grew up with my father. My mother left us when I was very young. I do not remember her face. My father never talked about her. When I asked, he said, "She is gone." That is all. I stopped asking. We lived in a small house near the river. It was quiet, and we did not have many visitors. My father worked hard. He fixed cars in a small shop. He came home late and tired. He ate his dinner in silence and went to bed early. I stayed alone most of the time. I read books and walked by the river. I watched the water move, slow and calm. I liked the quiet. I did not talk to many people. I did not trust them. At school, I was different. Other boys played together. They laughed and shared their stories. I sat alone in the corner. I did my work and left when the bell rang. Some boys tried to be my friend, but I pushed them away. I did not believe in friendship. I did not believe in love. My father said, "People leave. Do not expect them to stay." I believed his words. He was right. Girls were the same. They smiled and talked to me, but I did not answer. They asked me questions, but I walked away. I saw how they laughed with others. I saw how they changed their friends. One day, they liked someone. The next day, they liked someone else. I thought they were not real. I thought their words did not mean anything. I did not want to waste my time. I focused on school. I focused on work. I did not need people. I was fine alone. Years passed. I finished school. I helped my father in his shop. Every day was the same. I woke up early. I worked all day. I ate dinner with my father. We spoke few words. Then I went to bed. The next day, I did the same. Life was simple. Life was quiet. I did not feel sad, but I did not feel happy. I thought this was life. I thought I needed nothing more. Then one day, everything changed. It was a normal day. I woke up early, ate breakfast, and went to the shop. My father was already there, working on a car. He did not say much. He never did. I picked up my tools and started my work. The air smelled of oil and metal. The sound of engines and hammers filled the shop. This was my life. This was what I knew. Then she walked in, a girl. She looked around, then stepped closer. She had a problem with her car. I did not look at her face. I did not care. I wiped my hands and asked, "What is wrong?" She explained, but I barely listened. I just wanted to fix the car and go back to work. She thanked me, but I did not respond. I thought she would leave, but she did not. She stood there looking around. "Do you like working here?" she asked. I did not answer. I did not like small talk. She smiled and said, "You are very quiet." I stayed silent. She laughed a little. It was soft, not loud like other people. It did not bother me. I finished fixing the car and gave her the keys. She thanked me again and left. I thought that was the end. But the next day, she came back. This time she did not have a car problem. She just stood at the door looking at the shop. I ignored her. She walked closer and said, "Can I watch?" I frowned. "Watch what?" I asked. "You work," she said. I shook my head. She did not leave. She just smiled and said, "Okay, I will wait outside." I did not understand her. Why was she here? What did she want? For the next few days, she came again and again. Sometimes she asked questions. Sometimes she just sat outside watching. My father noticed. "She is different," he said. I did not reply. I did not want to talk about her. I did not want to think about her. But I did. One evening, I saw her by the river. She was sitting on a rock, looking at the water. I walked past her, but she turned and smiled. "Do you like the river?" she asked. I stopped. No one ever asked me that before. I nodded slowly. She did not talk more. She just sat there, quiet. It felt strange. I told myself she was like the others. She would leave. But she did not. And that made me afraid. Days passed and she kept coming. Every morning she walked into the shop. Sometimes she had a question. Sometimes she just watched. My father got used to her. He even smiled when she arrived. But I did not understand her. She was different. She did not act like other people. She did not talk too much. She did not ask too many questions. She just stayed, and I did not know why. One afternoon, she brought coffee. She placed it on the table near me. "For you?" she said. I looked at it but did not take it. "I don't drink coffee," I said. She just smiled. "Then I will bring tea next time." I frowned. "Why?" She shrugged. "Because you work hard." I did not answer. I picked up my tools and continued working, but I saw my father take the coffee and smile at her. He liked her. I did not know why. She started coming in the evenings too. Sometimes she sat by the river. Sometimes she walked near the shop. She did not ask me anything. She did not expect anything. She was just there. I thought she would get bored. I thought she would stop coming, but she did not. One evening, I found her sitting on an old bench near the river. The sun was setting. The water looked golden. I was tired, but I walked toward her. "Why do you come here every day?" I asked. She looked at me and smiled. "Because I want to." Her answer made no sense. "You don't even know me," I said. She tilted her head. "Maybe I do." I shook my head. "No, you don't." She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Maybe you think people always leave. But I am still here." Her words made my chest feel heavy. I did not know why. I did not answer. I just sat next to her. The sky turned dark, and we stayed there in silence. The next day, she brought tea. She placed it near me like before. I looked at it for a long time. Then, for the first time, I picked it up. It was warm in my hands. I took a small sip. She smiled, but she did not say anything. She did not need to. Something was changing. I did not know what, but for the first time, I did not feel alone. She became a part of my days. I did not expect it, but I noticed when she was not there. Every morning, she came to the shop. Every evening, she sat by the river. She talked sometimes, but not too much. She never asked questions I did not want to answer. She never pushed me to speak. She was just there, and I let her be. One day, she came later than usual. I was fixing a car, but I looked at the door. She was not there. I told myself it did not matter. I worked harder, trying to ignore the feeling in my chest. But the hours passed, and she did not come. I told myself she was just busy. Maybe she found something better to do. Maybe she finally got tired of coming here. Maybe she finally left. But then, in the evening, she appeared. She walked into the shop slower than usual. "Sorry," she said. "I had something to do." I did not ask what. I just nodded and kept working. But my hands were shaking a little. I did not know why. She watched me for a while, then placed something on the table. A small box. "For you," she said. I frowned. "Why?" She smiled. "Open it later." Then she left. That night I sat on my bed and looked at the box. It was small and simple. I hesitated before opening it. Inside, there was a keychain, a small silver key hanging from a black string. It was simple, just like me, just like my life. I did not understand why she gave it to me, but I held it in my hand for a long time. Then I placed it in my pocket. The next day, she was back. She acted normal, as if nothing happened. I wanted to ask her about the keychain, but I did not know how. Instead, I just worked. She watched, like always, but something was different now. I could feel it. One evening, she asked, "Do you ever think about leaving this town?" I looked at her, confused. "Why?" She shrugged. "Just wondering. Do you ever want to see other places?" I shook my head. "This is my home," she smiled. "Home is not always a place." I did not understand what she meant, but I did not ask. Days turned into weeks. She kept coming, and something inside me kept changing. I did not push her away anymore. When she spoke, I listened. When she brought tea, I drank it. When she sat by the river, I sat too. Then one day, my father said something that surprised me. "She cares about you." I frowned. "She is just friendly." He shook his head. "No, it is more than that." I did not answer. I did not want to think about it. But I did. That evening, when I saw her by the river, I walked faster. She smiled when she saw me. I sat down next to her. We watched the water. Then, without thinking, I reached into my pocket and held the keychain. I did not know why, but it felt important. She saw it in my hand and smiled. "You kept it." I nodded. "Yes." The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. The air was cool. I looked at her, and for the first time I asked, "Why do you stay?" She did not look surprised. She just smiled and said, "Because I want to." And for the first time I believed her. She was still there. Every day she came to the shop. Every evening she sat by the river. And every time I felt something different. It was small at first. Just a thought. Just a feeling. But it grew. I started waiting for her. I started listening more when she talked. I started looking for her before she arrived. It was strange. I did not know what it meant. And I was afraid to ask myself. One day, it rained. The shop was quiet. No cars came, and my father went home early. I sat alone, listening to the rain hit the roof. I told myself she would not come today. No one walks in the rain. But then I saw her. She was standing at the door, wet from the rain, smiling. "You're still here?" she said. I frowned. "You're wet," she laughed. "Yes, I know." I sighed and went inside to get a towel. She took it, dried her face, and sat on the chair near me. She did not say anything for a while. She just sat, listening to the rain. Then she spoke. "Do you ever feel lonely?" The question surprised me. I did not answer at first. I had never thought about it. I was always alone. But was I lonely? No, I said finally. I don't need people. She looked at me, her eyes soft. But you let me stay. I opened my mouth to argue, but I stopped. She was right. I never told her to leave. I never pushed her away. She was different. And I did not know why. The rain continued. The sky was gray, the shop was cold. But with her sitting there, it felt warm. I did not know what to say, so I said nothing. And for the first time, silence did not feel empty. It felt full, full of something I did not understand. Days passed, and I started noticing small things. I noticed how she laughed softly when she was nervous. I noticed how she looked at the sky when she was thinking. I noticed how she always sat in the same spot by the river, as if it belonged to her. These small things stayed in my mind. They did not leave, no matter how much I tried to ignore them. One evening, she was quiet. She sat by the river looking at the water. I sat next to her. "What's wrong?" I asked. She sighed. "Nothing, just thinking." I waited, but she did not say more. So I just sat there, watching the sky change colors. The air was cool, the wind soft. It felt peaceful, but something was different. Then she turned to me. "If I leave one day, will you miss me?" The question hit me like a wave. I stared at her. I wanted to say no. I wanted to say I did not care. But the words did not come. I did not know what to say. So I said nothing. She smiled, but it was different this time. It was sad. "It's okay," she said softly. I already know the answer. That night I could not sleep. Her words stayed in my mind. I tried to forget them, but they would not go away. I turned in my bed, staring at the ceiling, and for the first time, I asked myself a question I had never asked before. What if she leaves? And for the first time, I was afraid of the answer. She did not come that morning. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she was busy. Maybe she would come later. But the hours passed and she never appeared. The shop felt quiet, even with the sound of engines and tools. The river felt empty, even with the wind moving the water. Something was missing, something I did not want to name. The next day, she was still gone. I waited, but she did not come. I told myself I did not care. I told myself it did not matter, but it did. I walked to the river that evening. Her spot on the bench was empty. The air was colder than before. The sky was gray. I sat there, waiting for no one. The water moved slowly, the wind whispering through the trees. But nothing felt the same. Then I saw it. A small note on the bench. My hands felt heavy as I picked it up. The paper was slightly crumpled, as if it had been left in a hurry. My heart beat faster as I read the words. I had to leave. But I was right. "You will miss me." I read it again and again. My chest felt tight. My hands shook. I wanted to ignore it. I wanted to pretend it did not matter. But I couldn't, because she was right. I did miss her. I missed her voice, her quiet presence, the way she always sat in the same spot by the river. I missed the way she looked at me, as if she knew something I did not. That night, I sat alone, holding the keychain she gave me. I turned it in my fingers, feeling its weight. She was gone, but she was still here, in my thoughts, in my heart. I had spent years keeping people away. I had spent my whole life believing I did not need anyone. But now I knew the truth. My heart was no longer closed. It had opened without me realizing it, and now I did not know how to close it again.